Since taking office, Malaysia's Prime Minister Najib Razak has been implicated in a number of bizarre corruption scandals involving private jets, priceless works of art, the Saudi royal family, a Martin Scorsese film, and billions of dollars of state funds. In November 2016, thousands of people flooded the streets of Malaysia's capital, Kuala Lumpur, calling for his resignation. So where did all this start? How corrupt is Malaysia's Prime Minister? Well, it all stems back to 2009, when recently elected Najib Razak created a sovereign wealth fund called One Malaysia Development Berhad, better known as 1MDB. Sovereign wealth funds are huge reserves of public money that the government uses to invest, with the goal of growing the fund. Najib reportedly created 1MDB to help turn Kuala Lumpur into a global financial hub. At the time, Malaysia was at the cusp of a huge economic stimulus plan that aimed to make the country a high-income economy by 2020. 1MDB was different than a typical sovereign wealth fund in that it financed itself through borrowing money instead of collecting funds from export revenues or a central bank. 1MDB did a lot of borrowing and quickly amassed a huge amount of debt. In early 2015, it was reported that the state-run fund defaulted on $11 billion it owed to foreign investors. Later that year, the Wall Street Journal found that many of the projects 1MDB invested in, including overseas oil fields and a mine in Mongolia, never actually came to fruition. Seeing potential foul play, Malaysia's Attorney General launched a large-scale investigation to find out where this money was actually going. The investigation found evidence that in 2013, nearly $700 million had been transferred from 1MDB into Prime Minister Najib's personal bank account. However, later it was revealed that this money didn't come from the Sovereign Wealth Fund and instead came from the Saudi royal family, which denied these claims. After the initial allegations surfaced, Najib fired his Attorney General. Later, the newly appointed Attorney General stated that the nearly $700 million was a, quote, personal donation from the Saudis, and that Najib had returned a significant portion of it. Najib was cleared of any wrongdoing, and all state investigations into him were ceased. But the Prime Minister failed to explain what he did with the $61 million he did not return, or why all the money was given to him in the first place. This is far from the only corruption scandal surrounding Najib. During his tenure, the Prime Minister has been the subject of investigations in Hong Kong, Singapore, Switzerland, the United Arab Emirates, and the United States. According to the U.S. Justice Department, $3.5 billion from 1MDB was used to purchase high-end real estate, artwork by Monet and Van Gogh, and a $35 million jet. The money was even allegedly used to fund the film The Wolf of Wall Street, on which Najib's stepson was a producer. None of this has hurt Najib politically. The Prime Minister has kept a tight grip on power by purging political opponents, shutting down newspapers, and jailing dissidents. But it has damaged his popularity both in Malaysia and abroad. With calls for his resignation growing stronger and more frequent, Najib will likely face a tough re-election in 2018. Despite Prime Minister Najib's alleged indiscretions, Malaysia has one of the most stable economies in Southeast Asia. So how does this country compare internationally? Find out in this video. Malaysia's Prime Minister Najib Razak hopes to bolster the country to high-income status by 2020, in part by reducing its dependence on exports, which account for more than 80% of its GDP. Thanks for watching Seeker Daily. Don't forget to like and subscribe for new videos every day.